Everybody, welcome back to the full build video series, and today we're going to demo this van. Alright, so before I get into ripping this van apart and quickly share with you what we're going to do, we're going to take out the floor, the walls, these factory wiring harness covers, and last but not least those foam blobs and the dome factory lights throughout the vehicle. Now you're going to need a couple tools for the job. Again, we're going to try to keep this as non-specialized as possible. These are generally accessible tools. A socket wrench is useful if you have a drill that has a 1/2 inch or 3/8 attachment for sockets. That would also be useful. The second thing you're going to want is a T25 for the walls and a T45 for the floors. Now, in case somebody asks, can I use hex? No, you can't. Make sure you get the right bits for the job. You really don't want to strip those out. Last but not least, if you don't have one of these, they are super handy. Get some close-ups. This is an automotive grommet puller, basically 2 sets of forks. I'll show you how it works in this video. Without further ado, let's dig right in. Okay, so we'll start off on the walls. We're going to grab the T25. You can use the socket wrench, but if you're lazy like me, get yourself one of these. It's a drill that takes a socket. I think this is 3/8, not a quarter, but a 3/8 drive on here. And we're just gonna take these off. They pop right out. And then it also helps to keep a bin or a box nearby. Just collect these guys. You never know what you might use them for. Let's get these panels off. Okay, so to pull these factory black plastic caps out, you've got 2, let's say 3 basic methods. Number 1, you can get a flathead screwdriver between the 2 layers, twist from both sides, get the center to release, and then you can kind of pull the whole thing out. Not great. Very time consuming. Wouldn't recommend it. Option number 2, a little more violent. Hate to smile when I say that, but you put this underneath the grommet and then you just give it a little convincing. Option number 3, just kidding, I'm not going to do it, but I know some of you at home don't care for these panels, so just do whatever you think you want to do. I'm going to try to save these because I think we can resell them, yeah, let's do it. Sorry for the movement. We're on factory floors. A little not ideal, but anyway. Walls are down. We're going to move on to these factory wiring covers. They're super simple to release. Basically, they clip in different places. You squeeze in the middle and you pull. These things will pop right off. We still have yet to find somebody willing to buy them. Maybe worth saving. I'm just going to toss them, but we're going to work our way down this wall and start ripping this whole thing off. Moving on, we are gonna take out the factory foam blobs. These we do sell quite a bit, so try to save them. You don't have to take these down if you're building out your van, but we're gonna put in the Go Code kit, so it's necessary for us. Quick tips and tricks. Number 1, it helps if you mind the tabs on the back here. Try not to break them off. You can avoid breaking them by pushing up slightly, pulling them out. It also helps to release this. You can quite literally just take out, I think it's a T25 or T22 underneath this rubber piece. You can pull that off. It helps. I'm not going to because I'm A, lazy, B, in a hurry. But before I take this off though, I'm going to take off this guy here. This tricky son of a something. Man, okay, so whatever double-sided tape they used to put these on is just has some ungodly hold. So expect to watch me struggle pulling these off. But when I release this foam section here, it's going to allow me a little bit of freedom to slide these up and remove them without breaking. So I'm going to start with the middle. see how it goes. All right. No luck. So we've tried to play nice. We've tried to use our hands. Clearly not going to work. I'm going to grab a putty knife and see if I can break through that glue. Oh my God. Oh my God. You saw it here, folks. I'm going to have to patent this. Now, you don't have to take down the glue or the double-sided tape strips. I'm going to leave them up. They're not going to bother me. Oh no. Not quite there. Close, but no cigar. All right, now we're talking. Okay, awesome. Let's move on to the corners. Okay, so the way I like to do this, and I may well screw this up on camera. I'm not gonna edit it out. I'm just gonna go for it. But I like to pry under here in the headliner and see if I can push this forward a little bit. There we go. So, I mean, it's not much of a gap, but it releases these foam fingers in the back that I really don't want to break off. And now the trick is to get this guy out from here. Not my lucky day. Oh. Kind of my lucky day. Sorry if it's out of focus. I did manage to save this thing without breaking either the mounting fingers or this retaining foam that goes behind the headliner. We're going to push that clip I undid back in. Try to get back in here in a sec. But yeah, the other side, however, I'll pan the camera over there. Keep in mind, there is adhesive on the top. So break that first and then start pulling. Adhesive first. There it is. Awesome. Clip out. All right, here we go. Sliding forward. Very delicately here. This seems to be my pinch point right here, so I'm gonna try to push it down. Oh, there you go. Voila. Let's get these clips back in before I forget. All right, headliner's back. Perfectly saved this guy, thank goodness. No rips, no tears. We can sell these. You can actually upholster them, put them right back, but my God, what a struggle. All right, so I've closed the door and found for myself 3 new surprises, yay. But also thought I'd take the chance to talk about this guy here. I need it off for the kit I'm putting in. So it's a 10mm socket, nothing crazy. I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. I try to never use the impact or a drill on any factory threads because extracting those studs would be a real nightmare. And these are the bolts that hold your sliding rail on. So we're putting these two, or taking these two off, but just a quick tip, never take all these off. Realigning that slider door is going to be the bane of your existence, so don't do it. Just take these two off, pull the light down, put these two right back on. Yeah. Oops. All right, so that's off. Let's get these guys back on. Try not to cross thread them. Sorry the audio's all wonky. My mic's on my left strap here, so if I turn my head, it sounds weird. That was unnecessary. Okay, let's keep going. Too much friction. Okay, that part's done. I'm going to pull you guys in closer and show you how I release these lights real quick, and then we'll move on to the others. All right, I was reminded yet again today of my superhuman strength. Bent my grommet pullers. One thing to note, I'm not that strong. These are cheap. I think I got them at Harbor Freight, and I'm clearly not using them the way the good Lord intended. So keep that in mind. I did say violence was a factor here, but you know, for what I paid, like $4 or $5 for this tool, to get through this in 10, 15 minutes, super worth it. But yeah, keep that in mind. Either A, I'm immensely strong, or B, this tool is kind of a one-time use deal. Grabbed a few more tools here. We're going to move on to the floor now. Believe it or not, these floors are expensive and they sell for a pretty penny. A lot of people want to reuse them. I'm going to pull the whole thing out. I won't bother with pulling out any of the trim. It stays attached to the floor, but I will take out all these factory tie-down locations. Now, I mentioned the T45 earlier. You're going to want to grab that. And, sorry, a little out of breath here. I generally really don't like using impact to break screws for the first time, especially if they're factory kind of load-bearing mounting points. So I'm going to go through with the socket wrench, break all of these loose first. Once I can verify the thread isn't crunchy, I'm going to go back with the drill and just do the good work with that guy. So here we go. That was a rough one. Okay, climbing back in the van. We're going to pull this floor out, and the way I'm going to do it, the way I like to do it, is to pick up from the slider entryway and tip it vertically. And if I'm lucky, everything will come out real easy, and I'll be able to just carry this thing out the back, put it somewhere safe. However, historically speaking, I'm not a very lucky guy, so let's give it our best. There's that luck I was talking about. That's all right. Before I scratch this anymore, let's move these guys out the way. Alrighty. Let's try that again. Hopefully with a little better luck this time. All right. There we go. Stinking Velcro. So two stupid things I did there. Number one, I forgot to move the seats forward, so I got a slight scuff on the passenger seat. Luckily, it's really light, so I'll just be able to buff it out. Second thing was, when I was peeling up the front, I hadn't quite released the back, and usually, you know, with two guys, you can do the whole floor at once. Wasn't the case. And that little double U-shaped joiner trim in the center broke a little bit off the end of one of those, but we'll patch it up, put it right back together. That's how you avoid the stupid things I just did. Write those down. Don't do them if you're doing a solo build like this. But the only thing left really is to remove the rest of the factory dome lights. I'm just going to pull those down and pop the clips off, just like you saw at the front. All right, there you have it, folks. The van is demoed. It's ready for the next step in the installation process. Today we used both finesse and unnecessary violence. So take the good from this video, and I hope it helps you with your van demo. In any case, I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next video in the series, and as always, happy building.